Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of season 1 of the Skin Wellness Pro Show. I'm so excited to be here. Tara, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Can you believe we've done, after this, it'll be 10 episodes of our little podcast?
No, that's exciting.
It is
It's fun.
exciting. And I thought that a great way to kind of round out the first season would be to just do a little recap, some of what's been going on, and then talk about what we're looking forward to in season 2, but also in the fall, because it's also like end of summer. So how was your summer, Tara? Did you do anything new and interesting, either in your personal life or with business?
Yeah, I mean, it's we're always moving here. We're a homeschooling family too, so and we school year round, so we're it's like a never ending movement of cool stuff. So business is growing for me. I had opened my second business last September, so that's still in its infancy stage, which has been fun. And we have new hires. I have a new assistant, so that's been fun. New classes, and this summer, we had a lot of rain where we are, but we had a lot of beautiful days too, so got to go outside and enjoy that. So I've been very grateful for the beautiful summer. How about you, Rachel?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's been all good things, but so much change to the point that I feel like I haven't even caught up yet and the change is not quite done. So I just moved my oldest daughter into college.
Aw,
Oh, let me get that in the minute.
cool.
So she is now a freshman at Dickinson. She just
Exciting.
moved in on Wednesday, and it was actually really cool. The entire football team like ascended on the SUV and took everything out of the car and just brought it up to her room. It's like, oh, we don't
Oh,
actually have to lift anything. It was like the fastest move in ever. It was a really cute little tradition that they do there, and she seems to be adjusting well. Didn't really go on vacation because my kids were all over the place. One of my daughters was in Italy for 3 weeks with family, and then my other daughter was studying ballet away for 5 weeks, which leads me to the next big change, and that is that she is moving to a different state, to this back to the same place that she was this summer. They made her a year-round training offer, which is usually reserved for older kids, but she got that offer. And she is going to be moving away from home as well. So we are facing empty nesthood at least a year earlier than we were expecting to. So I'm not going to lie, I feel like I aged
yeah.
10 years in the last 2 months, just with all of this change and all of this movement and driving back and forth from one state to another. Um, been gua shaing the heck out of my face and doing all my facial massage to keep things going, keep things lifted. But it's all good things. The kids are supposed to spread their wings and fly. And yes, it's happening a little bit sooner for one of our daughters than we expected, but we're really excited for her. And my husband and I are just going to enjoy, getting to know each other again without
Yeah,
the kids in the house, which
total
is a
shift.
crazy thought.
That's great. Good stuff though. Good reasons to shift, right?
Yeah, I think so. And, I've been doing a ton of consulting over the summer and some really interesting consulting, which I want to share a little bit about later in the show today. But before we do that, let's talk about what we're excited about now for the fall. What about you? Do you like, are you a fall person? Do you like the fall?
I like all the seasons,
Yeah.
truthfully. I do struggle a little bit with the lack of sun in the Northeast during the winter.
Yes, can relate.
I don't mind the cold, and I like all the seasons. So I'm grateful for all the four seasons here. So that's nice. Fall is going to bring for me my winter wellness series that I do with virtual teaching, and so working on freshening up that curriculum has been fun, and looking
Hmm.
forward to sort of that that hunker down period of time, which we're supposed to be sort of inward and a little more hibernating and sort of nourishing. So I do enjoy that. And I enjoy um, the part where you can kind of remind people of that in practice, to kind of keep that in mind and allow the winter to sort of blanket you and allow you to kind of reestablish your center. So that's coming around the corner, and that's nice, and I look forward to that. And professionally, there's always so much going on in the holiday season. And during that winter time when people want to nourish themselves, they're always wanting to be in for treatment and do classes. So it keeps me
Mhm.
busy, but in a good way. So I do look forward to that.
That's exciting. Yeah, I have kind of followed our advice that we've been giving our audience over, several of our episodes about time management and being really organized and planning. And yesterday I took some time and literally blocked out days off, like completely days off for Q4, because I know that if I don't do it and get it on the calendar and actually like block out the days on the calendar so no one can book appointments on those days, that I'm going to end up not doing it. And then I'm going to be exhausted. So I am really being proactive about protecting my time and making sure that I have time for mental health days, for sleep, for my own, self-nourishing practices. So I'm really looking forward to that. I know that all the feelings are about to hit me really, really hard. It hasn't hit me yet because I still have 1 week left before we move my younger daughter. And then after that, I'll be, really busy with work because we have the CNAP program starting soon for our new school year, and some of my other courses will be launching again soon. But I know it's gonna hit me. I know it is, and it's a lot of feelings. It's excitement, it's sadness, it's grief, nervousness, like hoping that everything is okay with them. So I wanted to carve out time to allow for that, because I know that you can't predict the feelings that you're going to have, when you're going to have them, how long it's going to last. But I do think that carving out some space to give yourself permission to go there and to feel them, to feel those things so that you can process them and work through them and not just bypass them by, being a workaholic, or, focusing on things like going to the gym and doing a lot of yoga. You can't bypass hard feelings in life. You have to move through them, and preparing for that and having a plan, somewhat of a plan, not going to be a perfect plan, for how you're going to walk through that is I think a really good practice. So I'm proud of myself for, for taking the initiative on that for myself. And I'm also encouraging my husband to do the same thing with his schedule. But I am really excited that, first of all, we're going to do another season of the podcast. So yay. And we are going to have more special guests on that will have bigger conversations. So I'm really excited about that. And we always encourage you guys listening or watching, if you have any suggestions on topics that you would like us to talk about, guests you would like us to bring on, please let us know either in the comments on the blog at skinwellnesspro.com or on our YouTube channel. And of course, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you are listening, please, rate us, follow us, share us, do all the things so that, we can keep making these episodes. It does help us out a lot. But the CNAP program, so that is the Nutritional Aesthetics Alliance's flagship practitioner training program. It stands for Certified Nutritional Aesthetics Practitioner. And what that essentially is a Skin Wellness Pro, hence our website, Skin Wellness Pro Show, or skinwellnesspro.com, I should say. And nutritional aesthetics is essentially an integrative approach to healthy skin. And that can mean a lot of things. What we really are aiming to do is fill the gaps, because what we found is that on the aesthetics and skin side of things, they're really just focusing on the outside. And that's fine, because that's what people see. And that's oftentimes what people are willing to take action on to make changes, because it's maybe a more fun change than, changing your diet. But it's the it's already happened by the time it comes to the surface, right? The reason why things come to the surface has already happened on the inside. So addressing the skin from the outside is not addressing the root cause. It is addressing the symptom. It is improving the appearance, which again, nothing wrong with that. But if you want to actually see change in how the skin looks and how the skin functions, that has to be addressed on the inside with the nutrition. And we're not just talking about nutrition with food, we're talking about nutrition of whatever brings nourishment into your life. So on the nutrition side of things, what we found was that they're teaching that pretty well, but it's not, a lot of it is not skin specific. A lot of the health coaching programs, the holistic nutrition or functional nutrition programs out there are not talking about the connections, direct connections between the gut and the skin, between the liver and the skin, between the thyroid and the skin, between the hormones and the skin. And if the hormones are out of whack, why is that happening? That's usually not the root cause, but yet another symptom. So we're trying to just bring those two sides together into that sweet spot so that people can introduce skin healthy practices into their lives. And that's what our practitioners are helping their clients do. So our practitioner program teaches estheticians, health coaches, nutritionists, cosmetologists, basically anyone who would support someone who is struggling with skin issues. That is who we are supporting with this program. Tara, did you want to add anything to that?
Well, I mean, you kind of covered it all, but I guess as a nutritional aesthetics practitioner, I can speak that I've been doing this work for a long time, and I know without a doubt that if you are in the skin health field, if you're an esthetician, or if you are a dietitian, or if you are working as a health coach, you are experiencing people who are having issues with their skin oftentimes, and so making those connections, our skin is our largest organ. So making those connections from the body and what's happening inside to what's expressing itself on the outside is a really valuable way to assist your client in getting to the root cause of issues right away. I mean, when I have clients lay down with me, I can tell right away what's happening because I'm skin mapping and I can see what's happening in their skin. And I know where it's correlated to based on where it's located and what we're seeing. And I just ask a couple simple questions. And usually they're like, yes, how did you know? And I'm like, well, I can see it in your skin. And so, our skin health has been traced back for thousands of years. Lots of cultures have used the skin as a way to map internal issues. And especially if you're an esthetician, that people are coming in for their skin, they're laying down and you're looking at them. And if you can make some connection to why that problem is happening, you're going to have a much better ability to serve that client and get them results. We have great topicals on the market now. All kinds of products. I mean, there's
So
plenty
many
of
products.
yeah. So if you're already in skin, working with skin, and you've got your retail that you're using, yes, you probably have some really good ingredients and really good products that are in your store that you're passing along, and you're getting some results. But it'll never be the answer if the problem is not addressed internally. And so we know as nutritional aesthetic practitioners that this is an essential piece to getting the results for your client. So
Yeah.
I think the program's fabulous for a lot of reasons, but I think there's many, many people out there that are even people on their own. They're suffering with rosacea, they're suffering with eczema, psoriasis, other skin disorders, and singularly want answers for themselves. And taking this type of program, even if you've never taken a program before, you're not even in the industry, if something like someone who has psoriasis might be passionate about finding the tools to fix that for themselves, and then you can translate that into helping other people. So the program's really fabulous because it really sets people up for starting to see that deeper connection and digging a little deeper so that their results are better either for themselves or for their clients in whatever field that they're either in, or if they want to start a new field of practice.
Absolutely. And, we're not here to diagnose or treat or cure. This is not a medical program. This is not a medical degree or medical license. I want to be clear about that. Where we shine is in helping to facilitate that change. We help educate, and then we meet our clients where they're at, see what changes they're willing to make at this point in their journey, because not everyone is ready to just, dump their fridge, replace everything with, fresh, organic, local, this and that, start taking really good supplements, start, change out everything in their lives. Not everyone's willing to do that. Not everyone's willing to start meditating. Not everyone's willing to start exercising. There's a lot of things that can be really overwhelming that people think they have to do in order to get results. And oftentimes what I found in my personal journey, and I know Tara, you found this too, is that simple changes, when you introduce them, get really good at them, and then start layering on other simple changes, that is what is most effective. So we're really here to help our practitioners help their clients implement these healthy changes and prioritize, where the heck do I even start because of all the things. So that's oversimplifying what CNAPs do. Obviously, we can't tell you exactly all of that in a podcast episode. You have to join us in the course for that. But we've been teaching this course. I've been teaching this course since the fall of 2019. We made it through the pandemic, and we continued growing. Tara came on faculty late 2021, was it, or early 2022, something like that, as our education specialist. And Tara, we already had one accreditation from the AADP, but Tara helped us secure a second partnership with the NCEA on the aesthetic side of things. So we have accreditations on both the nutrition side of things and the aesthetic side of things. So, if you need continuing education, we can help you with that. If you're looking for, an additional stamp of approval beyond our certification, we can help you with that too. So, we've been working really hard to improve the program over the past year and a half or so. And I think we've made some great strides, and the program's going to be shifting a little bit again. We've had a lot of feedback from students who just couldn't make all the live calls because of their schedules. They all work, we support working professionals who often work odd hours. So it can be really hard to plan, when they're going to have availability. Estheticians don't really work 9 to 5s where they're going to have a lunch break at the same time every day, because that's usually when they have to see clients, right? On other people's lunch breaks. So we've just streamlined the calls back a little bit. Tara is still going to do her monthly NAA in practice call, which is when she's going to help our students kind of figure out how they're going to implement this into their current practices, or if they're starting new practices, what that might look like. And then I'll be doing monthly office hours, and we're going to be offering more one-on-one support to our students, which we're really excited about. So that is some of the things that are coming up new for the new school year. And I say school year because, it's back to school season, but our course is on rolling enrollment. So people can join us at any time. But I do suggest, if you've been eyeing the course for a while, you've been listening to us, you've been reading the blog, if you've been considering the course, I think you're going to want to strongly consider joining us for September. And we are having an open house, a virtual open house, on September 15th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, where we are going to tell you even more about the program, but we're also going to make a special offer. So if you have been holding out because you've been waiting for an offer, it's coming. So mark your calendars for September 15th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, if you are not yet on our email list, please go to the website, and you can sign up for that either by downloading our syllabus for the CNAP program, or if you download our integrative guide to healthy skin, that will also put you on to the email list, or you can just contact us and say, hey, I want to be notified via email, and then we can hook you up that way. Tara, can we talk a little bit more about your NAA and practice calls? I would love for you to share just a little bit about, well, how you support our students, but also some of the different ideas that have been generated as you've been working with our students over the past year, what you've seen in them integrating, you know, nutrition and wellness and coaching into their aesthetics practices. And then I have a couple that I want to share too, just from some consulting work that I did this summer. But I'm going to hand it over to you to share a little bit about what our students over the last year have been working on with you.
So this role in the program for me has just been super rewarding because, as a person who's been an esthetician for almost 25 years and practices as a holistic health practitioner, I have multiple modalities that I use in my personal treatment room. And I think one of the most beautiful parts about this type of work is that it really is your own. So, when I work with the students in the calls, it's not about me trying to tell them to do practice like I do. It's a really great conversation because it's unique with every single practitioner. They're all have their own direction, their own ideas, their own philosophies. And it's about offering a program that gives you sort of a directive on how to bring this into your practice in an organized way. But for each individual, when we're working in, how to integrate this into your practice, it's really about what your goals are individually. And so this is such a fun part for me because I really love to see these estheticians and these nutritionists and dietitians and health coaches really thrive because they're cultivating something very unique. It's their own personal package of how they work with their clients. And part of that is themselves. And then part of that is where they live, the demographic. Part of them is what intrigues them the most about assisting and helping people achieve their goals or find solutions or reestablish their lifestyle to support, healing or changing. And so that is just such a cool space. So I get students that have never practiced anything. This is the first time they've taken a program and they want to use this program because they either had something go on in their life or they're interested in doing a virtual practice where they do assist people through consultation online. And so that looks very different than mine because I am hands-on in treatment in my own practice. And so it's fun to help them see the potential of what they can do and create pathways for them to be successful and deliver what their knowledge is to clients that way. Then you have, sometimes you have like a health coach or you have a personal trainer. These people are doing very different practices, but they know the value of what the nutritional aesthetics practice can provide to their clients. Some of them are already doing some of that stuff because they might have had their own research, their own ideas about how to deliver this. And CNAP just really drives their value a little deeper in what they're providing. And when we work with what's in practice, it's going to be unique to you. Some estheticians, some practitioners are doing other types of wellness, energy work, and they want to be able to bring in an integrative approach through their lifestyle. And this is really a really beautiful way to do it. Because for some, it might be their sole practice. You have students that are doing virtual or they're doing in person, and that's all they do. They intake clients, and then they're just discussing and helping them sort of decide on plans or ideas of how to shift their diet and their lifestyle to make their clients, to move their clients into a healthy position. Then you have other people that they want it as just simply an integrative practice. And so it's not the sole thing they do, but they are able to really get a little deeper with those clients. And so it's really fun to see students thrive and cultivate personal practice. And personal practice is super important because, I think a lot of times you go to trainings and you come out with like a program structure on how you go into your treatment room or how you go into your practice, and this is how you deliver. And quite honestly, the real world just doesn't look like that. It just
It's
doesn't.
true.
And I think that people can kind of tell when you have practitioners that are kind of delivering sort of the prefabbed.
The
um,
canned program in a box.
yeah, and it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that I think what CNAP is really great at providing is that personal ability to say, what does your practice look like? Or what do you want it to look like? And how can I help you take this nutritional practice, integrate it into your practice so that you can have success and you can be fueled and passionate because you're delivering something very unique to you. And, that's important for clients too, because not every client belongs to all the same people, right? Because some clients will come to me, they're drawn to me for what I provide. And then, someone down the road is going to have something different to provide. And this is such a beautiful part of being unique in our practice. And when you're a CNAP, we really want to drive what it is you want to provide to your clients and what kind of practitioner do you want to be. And it's going to look different than mine. And so I love NAA in practice because, it's a very fulfilling process to work with clients and help find spots where there's some gap in their lifestyle, or you kind of tease out something that nutritionally they could shift, and you can offer those suggestions to them, and be a guide to them. And when they come back and they've done that and they're like, wow, I no longer have my stomach aches every morning, and wow, that was
Mm-hmm.
and oh my goodness, I haven't not had hormonal breakouts my whole life, and now I don't have hormonal breakouts. And some of the stuff you're offering, it's what makes you sellable. You're not selling another product.
Right.
Because I think people get very disenfranchised when they're constantly chasing a new product to try to fix their skin. And it's great to watch clients make small shifts and changes, like you said, that you can be suggestive or offer or say, hey, this might be something that could be helpful in your diet. This might be something helpful in your lifestyle. And, when you learn how to integrate this practice into that, what you already offer, or as a new practice, it's really, really powerful. And I think it also creates a really, a really great way for people to really stick with you, because they're like, oh, we really formed this relationship. I've made changes with this person. This person offered me solutions that I tried, and I'm having these great results. And it's just a really cool thing. So I love doing the NIA in practice. I love that the next season, the next phase of CNAP is really going to get a little more personal so that we
Yeah.
can work with students one-on-one. And we did it in the group form, and that's great too. Because we all learn from each other too. I mean,
Absolutely.
I learned from the students, and I love that because I want to take every morsel I can get out of life. So it's great to do the group stuff, but also when someone's like, oh, I really want to hone in, we're going to be able to offer them some deeper one-on-one practices that can help them drive a little deeper and cultivate their practice a little better.
Yes. I love everything that you just said. And I am really excited to see how our next school year unfolds. And before, I want to share just a little bit. So as I mentioned, I've been doing so much consulting this summer, both kind of business consulting as well as formulation consulting. And on the business side of things, I had a couple of surprises, and I had the opportunity to consult with some med spas on bringing nutrition and functional nutrition, functional medicine services and protocols into a med spa. And those of you who know me know that I'm kind of more on the, not kind of, I am more on the crunchy holistic side of things. I am very, my own personal beliefs are, very non-invasive. I like to do everything as natural as possible when it comes to my whole body. I don't dye my hair. I try to use everything all natural. I make my own skincare. I cook my own food. I mean, who, I mean, that's not a badge of honor or anything, but we do need to, get more people cooking food again. But point is, I really have avoided some of the more cosmetic or medical aesthetic type treatments or procedures because that's just not how I personally want to age. But I have no judgment against those who do those types of procedures or who make their living offering them because we're all in this together, right? We're all here to make a living. We're all here to help people look and feel their best. And there are so many paths up that mountain, right? But typically, it's been, in my experience, the more holistically minded estheticians and practitioners who have been interested in bringing in the nutrition and the wellness because they're already doing things very naturally, very lifestyle focused, very whole person focused. So when I'm having conversations with practitioners like nurse practitioners who are doing things like PRP and injectables and threading and all these other types of procedures that me personally, I'd be like, no. Um, but then, and I'm seeing very large salons who are offering full service hair, nails, massage. Um, they are doing Botox, IV nutrients, and then they're talking about bringing in functional medicine with things like stool testing and very detailed nutrition and supplement protocols. Like, what does that look like? So I've had the opportunity to really brainstorm with these couple of different medi spas and their owners and their practitioners of what gaps they've been seeing, what conversations they've been having with their clients, and how they see the nutrition and the wellness side of things coming in. So I've been helping them just brainstorm what their programs could look like and get them trained on nutritional aesthetics so that they can offer this philosophy because we even though we personally might identify on the more holistic side of things, we have found that this model, this training, this curriculum benefits anyone who is supporting people with skin. And it's just been really cool to see the different iterations of this curriculum and this philosophy being implemented in different ways, whether it's a nurse practitioner who's doing injectables or a functional medicine doctor or a naturopath who is doing things more on the functional consultative side of things and doing that in a spa setting because the clients are there. They're there to look and feel their best. So why not help them do that in a different way? So I've seen anything from referral partnerships being formed to, someone coming in once a week and setting up shop for consultations and having them expand their product line a little bit more, helping them market that. So it's just been very cool to see how, just like what you said, Tara, it doesn't look the same for everyone. And we have to be open. We have to be open-minded. We have to be inclusive of all different philosophies because really the goal is to support people, mostly women, who are trying to deal with everything society expects of them as they get older, right?
Well, I think, yeah. And I think what you're saying is, so, I mean, I align holistically as well.
Yeah.
I have no desire personally to integrate for my personal anti-aging program, anything that is more medical. But the reality is that a lot of people, they stumble upon the pathway there. Maybe they didn't experience or know that there was another opportunity or option. And so, and I think a lot of people are also, they don't resonate with some of the injectables and they don't resonate with some of those things, but we want to make sure that they know that there's other pathways here.
Yes.
Right. And so, I think, and then, when it comes to client psychology, this is important too. And I think it's probably the most under discussed topic in our industry, but people struggle with how they look or how they feel based on their backgrounds or what they've had experiences with. And when someone feels like they look good, that can change how they feel inside. And I think, while we don't want to focus like, oh, look this way so you can feel this way, but there is a dynamic there. And I think that, when someone is comfortable with what they do with a medical professional for their beauty habits, then that's great. And offering options for them, maybe to say, you know what, I tried this and I kind of like it better. There's different ways to do it. And I think that it's important that, I think it's important, but I also think it's really fabulous to finally see also that there's an integration into medical. I worked as an esthetician in dermatology for a few years, and the stuff that I saw was crazy. And like, I was younger, and at that time when I was working in the industry, Botox was newer, and things we were doing in the office, with peels and all these very
Hmm.
medical sort of procedures. I think that's kind of what put me towards the holistic practice altogether, because I was like, whoa, I don't know if I want to do that. But people are coming because they want some solutions. They want to feel better. They want to look better. And there's more than one way to do that.
Yeah.
And I think back then, dermatology and the medical establishment wasn't quite open to it. But I think what you find is not everybody resonates with, doing really extensive laser treatments for their acne. Not everybody resonates with the idea of injecting something into their body or their skin to make them look different. Not everybody likes the look. Not everybody feels comfortable with that. And
Hmm.
this is an opportunity to say to every client that walks in your door, we got something for you.
Right.
If this is what you want, or you want, maybe it's a wedding that weekend. So you got a wedding coming up. So maybe you want something a little more topical and medical, and someone can provide you with that quick fix. But then long term, you want to be more aligned with the, natural or holistic approach. Like, it's great to see the industry starting to merge a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think estheticians are in this very, very cool space. So are the other health practitioners, the health coaches, the trainers. They're all in this very interesting space right now, because they sort of can have a little bit of all of that business, because people are seeing those people already. And when you do CNAP and you bring nutritional aesthetics into your practice, it just creates a whole bigger vibe of being able to work with clients and helping them along their journey, whatever that looks like, either from your practice perspective or their perspective as the client. So it's cool to see the medical shifting into that direction and sort of allowing that to kind of integrate, because I think people are looking for it,
Yeah.
and want to be able to work with everybody.
Yeah, I think it's been really fun to see how many MDs and conventionally trained nurses have been expressing interest in this integration, because, MDs, nurses, DOs have been more on the conventional side of things, really, really, historically. But even, we have advisory board members who are MDs who are offering lifestyle medicine. And you go like Dr. Boachi, for example, we're going to have to get her on the show too. You go to her Instagram, and Dr. Nana Boachi, she's like amazing with all the stuff she shares about food and fitness. And she does share, obviously topical skincare stuff and sun protection, but she's doing it. She's really bringing that integrative philosophy into her dermatology practice, even though she offers conventional and cosmetic dermatology procedures, but she really is bringing in a ton of the holistic and lifestyle factors to balance that out and to make a very inclusive offering for her patients and also for her larger audience just on Instagram. So I just think it's really cool. We're here for all of it, and we invite practitioners of all philosophies to come in and see what our philosophy is and what our curriculum teaches. And it's been so cool to see that kind of marinate and churn, and then it comes out as something that's uniquely their own. Like, yes, what we teach is part of it, But in our very first pillar in the training, we spend a month encouraging and teaching our students how to cultivate their own integrative practice, and whatever that means, based on whatever training and philosophy they come into our program with, and then how to superimpose that knowledge and that philosophy, and then mush it all up, churn it up, and then spit it out as something that is uniquely theirs. So we are really all about that bio-individual focus, not just for the clients that our students are supporting, but we want our practitioners to have their own bio-individual approach to nutritional aesthetics as well.
Well, and that's what's so great about seeing sort of that integration with medical too,
Yeah.
because when I did my coursework with for quantum foundations, half of my class was doctors. And,
Mm-hmm.
I love hearing them speak about the fact that, I'm working, some of them have been in the business for 20, 30 years as doctors, and they're really struggling sometimes to find answers for their clients, and their patients they're working with them, but they're not really quite getting them over the hill. And then as they start to integrate natural and holistic practices, they start to see shifts and changes. And I think so the value of what's being brought forth is huge. And I think we're going to see it's not stopping. It's going to keep growing. So I think, if anybody's interested in having a more integrative practice and bringing this in, now is definitely the time, because we're at the precipice of something really big. I think the whole world is, over the last couple of years, when, things were really rough for people's health. I think people are looking for some deeper perspective on how to achieve that. And, no matter what you do for a job, you can integrate being able to help consult with your clients and give them some options on how to make that better. And that is only going to increase your value. And it's only increased my value over the years. And I think it's really cool to watch some of this natural perspective really change people's lives. And it doesn't cost them usually anything, because they're not buying anything from you. They're
Well, your
coming back.
services, your time.
Yeah. Well, they're coming back to you
Yes.
consistently because you have information to share with them and you can help guide them, but they don't have to buy another product. They don't need to
Right.
buy a package, a detox package or your, big supplement bag. And that feels right to them, because that is sort of the baby step, right? When you say, why don't you try doing this every morning? Or why don't you try this? And this could be a helpful swap for you. And some of those simple things just really make big changes for people. And then they become clients for life. And it's really
Yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah. One of the ways that I was explaining this, the benefit really of, bringing nutritional aesthetics into a med spa or into a conventional salon, is that what we, what our practitioners are bringing foundationally by making those changes with food, with lifestyle, with mindset, that is building the foundation that is going to produce skin cells that are developing in a more healthy way with better nutrient quality. They're functioning better as they rise to the top, and then by the time they get to the top, they're going to look better. So everything we're doing inside is supporting everything that is going to show up on the surface, so that anything that is offered at a salon or spa, whether it's products or treatments or procedures, it's going to have a stronger foundation to stand on. The results are going to last longer. The results are going to come faster. And that means happier clients who are going to come back in that door more often because they want more.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I noticed with
yeah.
some of the students, and this discussion came up a lot because, when women are suffering, like if they're in cosmetology and women are suffering with hair loss or hair thinning,
Mm-hmm.
you might be the first person to mention to them that maybe they need to see their doctor for some hormone panels, and that's really important, because you've got a client sitting in your chair and you're a hairdresser, and now you're trying to sell them a topical, and you're trying to give them a conditioner, and you're trying to do all this stuff, and they're still struggling with like thinning hair and hair loss. part of that discussion for you when you do nutritional aesthetics is that you're like, hey, maybe you need to see your naturopath or your doctor, have some of those things checked to be sure that you don't have some really deep imbalances that are causing this to happen, instead of months go by where you're still trying to throw some topicals at it. You've got a deeper tool bag to assist those clients in finding results and getting to the bottom and the root cause of what might be going on. And, beauty, while that seems external, because it comes from internal, our skin is an organ. Our hair comes and grows. Our nails come and grow because of the nutritious things going on in our body, from the health going on in our body.
Yeah.
And I think for many years that was forgotten. But it's coming back because people are starting to notice how important it is. Your hair is going to grow better. Your skin's going to look better. And who doesn't want any of those things? And then pretty much you're going to feel better altogether too when you can get some of those lifestyle practices. And so it's great overall.
Absolutely. So excited. Well, we're going to wrap up, but before we sign off, another reminder, we are going to have a virtual open house for the Certified Nutritional Aesthetics Practitioner Training Program, September 15th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be announcing that and having a registration form out to our audience and on social media very soon. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. I'm sure we'll have a little pop-up on the website for that too at skinwellnesspro.com. The program itself will be kicking off shortly after that. You can enroll year round. So if you're listening to this in like March and you're like, oh my goodness, I wanted to do this program, but I don't want to have to, I missed it. It started in September. No, it's on rolling enrollment. It is in some capacity self-paced. We're going to have a couple of different options for that, but you will have the opportunity to have live calls and one-on-one connection with us year round. But if you do join us for an open house, you will have a special offer that will help with the cost a little bit. So that's the benefit of attending the open house and starting in September. We usually do some sort of a spring open house as well. So fear not if you're listening to this, in the future. And again, you don't want to wait till September, but the point is you do not have to wait to start your education with us. And we are here for you year round. Even during the summer, we had summer office hours and we still have another summer office hour session next week. So if you are interested in learning more about our program, we do have more information on the website, skinwellnesspro.com, but you can also schedule a discovery call with Tara or myself if you would like to learn more and speak to one of us directly to find out how this program is going to benefit your practice. So to do that, what you can do is contact us via our website and we can get you scheduled for a complimentary discovery call to learn more about the program and see if it is the right fit for you. Okay. So I think that's a wrap on.
I wanted to squeeze in about the discovery call quickly.
Yes.
The discovery call could be really important because I think if you just take a few minutes to have a call with one of us, we can take an assessment of what you already do and help you see if it is the right fit for you. And I think that there's no charge for that. So definitely do that, because I'm more than happy to hear what your business is about and sort of give you some tidbits of what I can see right away that will be great for this program in your practice. So definitely take advantage of that.
Yes. So again, skinwellnesspro.com, hit that contact us link, and then that'll direct you to our email, which will help us get you booked for your discovery call. And again, Tara, thanks so much for a great season 1 of the Skin Wellness Pro Show. It's been so much fun hosting this with you, and I look forward to another season that will kick off next month, probably after our open house, because we want to focus on that. But thank you. It's been awesome. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for sticking with us.
Glad to be a part of this.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for watching or listening. And we'll be back again soon with season 2. Bye.